recording this. All right. So the first question is from Unity, and she wants to know. Uh, she says that she has not figured out how to manifest, and then she's okay. This question. So my answer to this is Unity. You need to get all the ingredients that you need to manifest, like you would for a recipe of a cake that you want to make. Then follow the steps to put the ingredients in the right order. To keep using this analogy, then you put your butter in the oven, and that's when you give it to the universe. And when the bell rings, your cake is ready. So, what are the ingredients that you need? One, desire slash goal. Focus, put your best energy into it. Um as in getting the best high quality ingredients for your cake. Repetition, you have to focus for a while until you get enough energy in your desire. Keep your vibration as high as possible. Find things that give you pleasure. You know, some people cannot raise their vibration. Find gratitude. Find the things that give you joy, that put you in a good mood. Keep negative thoughts at bay. Look out for your energy and don't allow as much as possible other people to come and poop on your energetic field, because sometimes you want to manifest something, you share it, and people will give you all the reasons why it won't work. Don't tell anything. Keep those people at bay. Don't share with them. You know, I'm expert on that. I need to be careful now with who I share my stuff. What else? And be really mindful of what you allow in your awareness. You want to manifest what you want, not what you do not want. So this is what I have for Unity.
What was the original question, Dennis?
The question was, what if you have not figured out what is in the way of manifesting? So she hasn't figured out what's in the way of manifesting.
Did you want to keep going?
Yeah,
No.
so I think that you know, like if you can't figure out like what's stopping you from manifesting, I mean, you know, all the things that Denise said are all good things. You know, keeping your energy high as much as you can. You know, like, you know, practicing gratitude, doing things that. So like the best question that I can ask is like, how will you feel when you achieve that thing, when you achieve that manifestation? What are the three main emotions that you'll feel? And what three activities make you feel those emotions and that you can do weekly so that you can be in that state? So like, that'd be one thing. And another thing would be like, you know, depending on what the goal is, like what are your beliefs around that goal, right? So like what limiting beliefs do you have around that goal? And a third thing would be, I think that the main problem that most people have is that they don't feel good enough. They don't feel worthy enough. So to work on self-worth, whatever makes you feel worthy, and finding the root of that story of I am not enough, or that belief of I am not enough. That would be my recommendation.
Do you know that I'm looking at you, Doris?
I'm looking at you.
Okay, so yeah, so just to give a mini intro, we're all from a mastermind group that we hold once every 2 weeks, and Denise thought it would be a good idea to just jump in on a call today to try and answer the best we can the questions that were posted in the thread. I'm no expert at manifesting or anything related to that. I'm very interested in learning about it though. So a couple of me, just from my limited understanding of this, what seems to work for me really is it's a mix of what Alex and Denise said, I think, which is to feel, to first get the emotion that you want, usually through gratitude or something around that. And when I can feel and hold that emotion inside myself, then that's the moment where I start to see what I want try to visualize it while maintaining that emotions. And I feel that the more I stay in that space, the more I seem to attract it to me, the better I feel. And we all know how the brain doesn't know what's real and what's not real. So by doing this over and over again, to me at least, what I think is that at some point you just reach a moment where the brain doesn't even know if you did it or if you didn't do it. So it just at some point it can become just so normal to just sexually achieve or do what you wanted, what you dream of, because of that repetition that you've done over and over into your head. So that would be all I would have to share on this right now.
Cool. I'm Doris, and I love that Denise came up with this idea. And what's coming up for me is, it feels like it's a habit, right? And it's like you have to just change the habit and like create a new practice and place your attention where you want it to grow. And that means making a commitment, right? So like making a commitment to like mentally seeing this happen and actually showing up and making small steps, even if they're baby steps, right? Like Bernard, you talk about this, like it doesn't have to be this big, massive like shift and change, right? Like it can be small incremental steps that will help to get you there, and it builds your confidence, right? And then also like what kind of like financial commitments do you need to make? Like do you need to, what is it that you need so you can manifest what you need to manifest, right? That's what's coming up for me right now. And then also gratitude. It was mentioned before, but gratitude is where it's at. That's what I think. Like when you wake up, what are you grateful for? When you go to bed, what are you grateful for? Because gratitude is the highest form of receivership. So if you want to be able to receive, then you need to place your mind there and remind yourself of that. And another thing that I think is helpful is like signs. Like I will post up signs of like what I want to manifest, or vision boards. So when I wake up, I see it. And it's like I'm constantly being reminded of what I want to keep on my forefront. That's all.
I just wanted to add something. You made me think of that, Doris. And you do shamanism also. And so that must be meaningful to you, what I'm about to say. But I think that every moment, basically, we are always making declarations to the universe by what we think, what we say, and what we do.
That's right.
So it's not about being perfect about this. It's about catching it when you see it. So when you have that thought that you know is not true because it limits you, or you have usually it comes from it. It's a thought usually that you have. So I think it's about being mindful to that and switching it, or just dropping it, or say, oh, interesting that I had that thought. But then what do you actually want to focus on in that moment? So I think that's a huge thing for me. It's a day-to-day thing where you just have to be conscious and watch what's coming up in your head, basically, and address that, because it's gonna come up, and like it's not like it's never gonna come up or anything, and so it's normal. We're humans. So.
Yeah, and to just like really notice that
non-attachment, right?
Yeah.
Alex, did you want to say more?
Yeah, well, I guess like the best way to practice non-attachment for those people that don't know is really through mindfulness meditation. So like just focusing on the breath, observing the thoughts, refocusing on the breath every time you get distracted by a thought. That practice non-attachments to your judgments and to the thoughts that you have, and you can observe instead of sit there and get caught up in your thought cycle. And then the next time you get caught up, and as you practice this every day, it becomes easier to detach yourself from those judgments and those thoughts and those doubts and those fears that you have, that your dreams won't manifest. And you can reassure yourself with stronger affirmations that are actually going to support your support your goals.
Yeah, and I think, and well, you guys follow Denise and Doris Joe Dispenza a lot, and I think he says that you have to maintain that state throughout the whole day, and when you do that, that's when it all happens. So I think I think it stems from that. So let's say you do your meditation in the morning or whatever, but I think what works for me at least is to try not to maintain that exact state, but maintain some kind of relaxed state throughout the day, just so that you can be mindful, and so that you can watch those thoughts and interrupt them, let them go, and change them. So it's just about being it really comes back to mindfulness in a sense, I think a mistake for some people would be to do the meditation once a day or once every 2 days or whatever, and then just go on with their day. But what I do is, I used to take walks on lunchtime in nature that would reconnect me. I would do breathing work in the morning or afternoon, just a few minutes. That's it. And these small things can affect you for hours. So at some point, you just stay connected almost the whole day. And when you're connected the whole day, then that's when things unfold for you, because you're a conscious creator at that point.
And to really respond to whatever your thoughts are with love and compassion instead of judging or being harsh, right? Like so key to be so loving, like, and to kind of give yourself a pat on the back when you're doing well, right? And it could just be like a little bit better, but it's better, right? Yeah. And then other things too, like walking outside and stargazing at night, right? Like being able to enjoy little things, not watching news, things like that.
Yeah, it's like your diet isn't just what you eat, it's what you consume, right? Like in your social media feeds or, just like the entertainment that you input.
Yeah, and you always have that choice to focus where you want to focus your thoughts. Darius said that, I think, already, and maybe Denise and Alex, but it's really that. I mean, it's I think it's the whole thing. A big part of it is this, to choose where you focus your thoughts, because when you're being mindful, then you saw that limiting thoughts, you drop it and everything, but you always have the choice to keep focusing on it or to drop it. So if where you put your energy, where energy goes, what's the
energy
focus
flows.
goes, energy, whatever. Where you place your energy, it grows, whatever the quote is. And it's so true. I mean, it's so true. So if you just starve the negative shit, the negative stuff, it slowly dies. That's what it does. It's seriously do it, at least for me.
For sure. Yeah, the best way that I've been able to rewire my thinking from like moving away from like complaining or being unsatisfied with my situation in my life is practicing gratitude. Because once I started practicing gratitude, I started to see more opportunities in my life because I was focusing on positive things. Instead of like being stuck in this like negative state.
Right. And I just have a logistical question, Denise. I'm wondering how many questions we have and what kind of time frame we want to give them.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Let me see, 4, 5.
What are you burning, Doris?
Yeah, we see smoke.
Palo Santo.
Yes, Palo Santo.
No, it's Palo Santo.
We have 6 more questions.
Okay, and we have 15 minutes or 13?
Yeah, let's
cool. So we can be like laser
focus. Yeah.
Maybe if we answered 2 well, or 6 and not well, we can just see how it goes also.
Yeah, and we don't each have to answer or whatever. Yeah, we can go with the flow.
Okay, so Michael says, how to construct in the quantum fields versus quieting the mind when meditating. To me, is through intention. The difference between going into the quantum field with the intention to manifest and just doing meditation to quiet the mind and to be in that state. To me, it's through intention. When I go into meditation, I always set my intention. What do I want out of that meditation? Sometimes I just want, to to have a nice time, to relax, to stop all the chatter. So sometimes I just repeat a mantra. That is another kind of meditation. So depending on what I'm looking for, this is my intention for the meditation. Other times I do guided meditations, and when I want to be in the quantum field, I intend to do so. Really intend to go into the quantum field, like Dr. Joe says, be no one, no place, no time. You know, just being in that in that quantum field. Then I focus my awareness in the infinite possibilities. You know, I start seeing the infinite. There is infinite possibilities, and I start calling the highest potentials into my reality. Sometimes I talk with my future selves, you know, come on, come show me the way, you know, you are already there. So you come and guide me. You know, I talk to myself, I'm crazy. So
you're not, you're totally manifesting. That's what's happening.
Yeah. So to me, intention is something that not many people set for anything. I have been being asked a lot of questions about intention, and we have to have intention behind everything, right?
Yeah, it's so true. Just before this call, we were talking, but then I just took one couple minutes to set my intention for this call, and the call we have 10 minutes, because just to set that. I mean, it doesn't make much sense when you talk about it, but when you start doing it and you see the difference it makes in the 3D world, it does.
And what you get done, yes, because if you are setting an intention, you are setting what you want at the end of that action. So you are setting the end of the
you start attracting that to you, right?
And a great book for this, for some people who want to maybe dive into this, Wayne Dyer, The Power of Intention. I found really helped me kind of understand intention and the power of it, but the power behind intention.
I read that book like 10, I'd say 5, 6 years ago, 7, 8 years ago. And I don't think I've grasped a lot of it at that time. So I think I'm going to have to reread this one.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
Something else about intention, it kind of reminds me of, like, if you start the day and you don't actually have a list of what you're going to do, it's so easy to waste the time away. But if you might write down like these top priorities, and like when you're done with one, you go back to the list and you go to the next, right? It's like really setting intention and focus. And so I feel like that's similar to like the quantum field. Like, okay, when you're like, you're bringing in that intention of like what you're wanting to manifest, your mind might wander, and then you can like notice that, and then you can just come back to the intention or the mantra or the etc.
Yeah, it's like a big part of manifesting, I think, is managing your distractions.
Yes.
Because we live in a world with so many distractions, we need to stay focused. So our intentions and our, task lists keep us focused for sure.
Totally. Especially as like more and more social media and all of that is going on. It's like we have to practice and create even stronger habits.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just going to add something. It's not really related to the question, the initial question, but anyway, like maybe a couple of years ago, 1-2 years ago, I used to have all these goals because I was reading, maybe 2 years ago, I was reading more about personal development and all these gurus telling you to know your goals and fix your goals. And so I was setting all these goals in all these areas. But I had no focus on any of them.
Right. Like
so, I had these written down, but then I wasn't taking any real actions toward any of them. And what I've been doing the last 3-6 months or whatever is I just have basically one goal. One.
Yay.
One. And, what really passionates me, what really drives me. And I just focus on that big time. It doesn't mean you ignore the rest, because as I've been doing this, the rest has actually improved. They've all improved just because I focus on what really excites me, energizes me. So there's repercussions everywhere. I think that's interesting because they all talks about improving the like 8 to 10, 12 areas of your life at the same time. And I think it's a
It
bit
doesn't
crazy
work.
to try and do
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Great. There's something beautiful about being able to focus on one thing and really noticing how when you do that, how it impacts all of your life in so many different ways.
And the
Yeah.
difference between a dream and a goal is the action that you take. If you don't take action, it's just a dream.
Exactly.
When you start taking one action at a time, you're gonna make it a goal. Because you want to manifest it. So you're gonna do the work. You're gonna take the action, right?
Mm-hmm. Denise,
Yeah,
I think you are a coach.
All right.
Yeah, and I think we all realize it's all about momentum. So keep your focus on what you want, and just build small but steady momentum towards it. So you know, it's just one small step every day, or it can be big. It can be 5 small steps, but just do something and keep that momentum going. Because if you, it's like going to the gym. You just stop going to the gym for a week. I mean, you're never gonna want to go back. So,
Yeah,
but
it's
if
so
you go,
hard.
if you go 2 days in a row, the third day actually is you feel like going. It's the
Exactly.
exact same thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like there's a rule in habits is like don't miss 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Is
once
that
you miss
one of
that
the
second
rules?
day, yeah,
Yeah.
once you miss that second day, it gets like 10 times harder to keep
Yeah,
going.
it's
To
it's
get back
the
on track.
Right.
same thing everywhere. If I'm gonna eat chocolate after my dinner tonight and I eat it again tomorrow, then the day after I'm
Yeah.
gonna need chocolate after my.
Right.
It's the same thing again.
Yeah. Though chocolate sounds yummy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, let's move on. So Farah, she asks, in my case, I think beliefs are the biggest hurdle. I would say deconstruct your beliefs to find where do you have your limitations and where you got them from. I think this is important because we have many limitations that do not belong to us. They were imprinted on us by the people around us and by society in general. So everything starts with awareness. And then there is this exercise that I love. That is looking for situations in your life that prove that belief is wrong. So like Alex was saying about the enough not being enough. Where did you get that from? Or not being worthy, and look for things that actually prove you wrong. Yes, I am enough. There was this situation, and this situation doesn't define me. It's someone else's opinion or something like that. So finding those proofs that remove that belief. So what else did I have? Yeah, I call it belief system alchemy. When you put the limiting belief, and then you put the proof that is not true. So, yeah,
yes, I love working that through personally and with clients, right? It's so beautiful to be like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's not true.
That is not actually true.
Yeah.
What the heck, So beautiful.
Yeah. And I think something that's interesting or maybe good to mention is like if you're struggling with like maybe your relationships or like with men or women or with money or with success or with whatever it is you want, ask yourself like what are your beliefs around relationships? Like what do you believe about relationships? What do you believe about money? What do you believe about people with money? Right? And those are going to give you some hints into like where your limitations are as well.
Yeah.
I think that person who wrote that, I think he's right, because the beliefs, to me, I think the belief is really, really, really huge part of this, as they resides in the subconscious, and that's usually what we try to influence when we meditate. And yeah, regarding beliefs, I think Denise, you were on a good trail. Usually you can ask. Is it 100% true? Is it true, like you said? And where's that coming from? But then when we ask where's that coming from, it can be hard to find the first moment that this happened to you in your life. You don't consciously usually know that on the first glance.
Right.
A good thing that you should remember, I believe, is that I've said that in the past, but I'm gonna repeat it, is that anything that limits you is a lie.
I love that.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, it's true.
Yes,
it's true.
it
So
is.
just gonna give you an example. Someone could have the belief, I'll never be a good public speaker. So is this true? What can be true is that you're not a great public speaker right now.
Yeah.
But to say that you will never be a good public speaker, that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone can become, okay, average, or good at speaking in front of people. Everyone can do that. It's something to
Just
learn.
practice.
Yeah, because I used to be the shyest guy in the entire world, I think.
Aww.
So, and yeah, but I mean, I can't speak now.
Heck yeah. Right.
So it's not, that belief is not true. It's not true. So it might be true that right now you're not the best, you're not that good. But okay, I'm not.
That doesn't define it.
What is true could be I'm slowly becoming a great public speaker. So yeah, let's say you start practicing it, then that you could try to adopt that belief, which is true. Like you are becoming a better one.
Right.
So you try to find a belief that you can actually believe, because if you try to influence your subconscious by believing I'm the greatest public speaker ever, I mean, your conscious mind is just going to be like, what the fuck?
What are you talking about?
So you have to pick one that you can believe.
Yeah.
So you have to start with one that you can believe. So, like I told you, like I am becoming a better public speaker or something along those lines. That is, it's actually true. If you are taking action to get better at it, it's true. Yeah. So that's an empowering one. And then when you believe it, then you can move to the next step.
Yeah, that's a great insight.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Just noticing we have 1 minute.
Yeah, so let's move on to Donna. Donna asks, how do we embody our imagined scene? To me, is by feeling it. I have to feel it in my body. I have to.
So I have a question. I'm a little distracted just because we're supposed to start our call right now.
Yeah.
So I wonder if we can maybe respond like by writing in or something, so we're not cutting into our call. Or what do other folks think?
Yeah.
I'm good with
that. Okay. So we reply in the comments, right? All right.
Yeah, or if anyone watches this, we can just do another one for the remaining questions.
Yeah, good call. I like that.
Okay then. So we meet in the other room.
Sounds
cool.
Good.
Okay.
Adios.
Bye.
See ya.
Ciao.